Hey there, what's going on everybody? C here, bringing you another replay cast. This time it's going to be Rush versus Hero down here in the bottom left. Of course, Rush in the top left. This one is another ladder replay from 2023, this time courtesy of Dex. Shout out to you if you happen to be watching this video. And we're on Nemesis here. As you can see, Overlord flying in the correct direction. This map has given us a lot of good games recently. I feel like in the ASL and the KCM, it's really been showing some great games. Of course, on the ladder, the ladder being what it is, at the lower ranks, this is a very frustrating and difficult map to play on. There's a lot of nuance here. There's a lot of stuff that can be done with, for instance, these two these assimilators that are littered around the map. Let me see if I can pull this up here. We'll just reveal the entire map. You can see the assimilators here, with eggs in the middle. Picking up these eggs allows you to go through. Killing one of these assimilators allows only small units to go through here, and killing both assimilators allows only ghosts to go through. Those are the smallest units in the game. They can still slip through there, but everything else kind of stopped from moving between the main part of the map and these side bases. There's one at all four corners of the map. So, or all four sides of the map, I should say, top, left, bottom, and right. So it is a strange one. It's a very nuanced map. It does lead to some pretty ridiculous, crazy games overall. And can I actually hear the game sounds? I just feel like I don't really hear anything. Oh, maybe I do. I've been messing around with the sounds a little bit. You might hear the difference in my voice. A little bit more deeper than it used to be. A little bit more bassier, but you know, it's a constant work in progress, always changing, adapting, and becoming better. So we've got a Marine down here putting a tiny bit of pressure on. He will just go ahead and walk away, though. I don't think anything was killed there. Do I actually have the sounds on, or am I crazy? Because I didn't hear any sound from that. Oh, there we go. Okay, yes, we do indeed have sounds going. This SCV being tracked down here. It looks like a third hatch on the way now. And what's the build for Hero? Well, it's going to be speed, then into layer, and of course a third hatch right away. So we'll see how he decides to play it out. With this 3-hatch play, it's not as popular as it used to be. 3-hatch play used to be way bigger and more popular, but the speedier mutas kind of won out in the end. But sometimes this does get thrown in every once in a while, whereas 2-hatch play is still kind of the standard in this matchup. It can be useful now and then to go for a 3-hatch. And there's the academy on the way here. It's going to be 2 racks academy, so just a normal push timing coming out of our Terran player. And this does force at least one sunken. Actually, this sunken may just be something that Hero puts down every single game, though I'm not sure about that. He's even going to open up these eggs as well. Just working on that with the 2 links. It does take kind of an insane amount of time to break through one of these eggs. The lings are going to be working on that for quite a long time. You have to hit it, I think, even more than 200 times, because you only deal 1 damage per shot. The eggs have a lot of armor. Looks like a ling over here at the natural will be picked off. This move out here from Rush is pretty scary, because back at home he does have that wall in. You cannot counterattack this, so you have to build enough sunken colonies to hold it. Looks like he'll be going with 2 sunken colonies with 7 mutas on the way, he doesn't need any more in order to block this. Second sunken colony actually may not even be morphed here. Very pragmatic play from Hero, not even gonna morph that sunken colony just yet, recognizing that actually I don't need to get that. The mutas are gonna be here on time, and he'll send those directly across the map. How many do we have to start off? Just 6. So not the full 9 that he was probably hoping to produce here. Maybe getting forced off of that because of that move out. That 2 racks move out a little bit earlier does tend to kind of mess you up a little bit. Being forced to build the extra sunken colonies. And here's some damage in the natural. Not too bad for Hero. Slowing things down just a little bit. This patch right there is so vulnerable, and he's going to continuously abuse that. We don't have any turrets on this side, just the 3 here. So you could actually hit this one with only activating 2 of these turrets. If you're a Terran player, it's best to have 3 turrets hitting whenever the Mutalist player comes in. That's going to push them away much quicker and lead to less lost SCVs. You can't put all 3 in a line right here, because then it will block SCVs from moving through. If you can see, if you stagger your turrets like this, the SCVs can actually move through quite nicely. So just something to be aware of. If you are going to be building turrets in your natural mineral line, make sure to put a little bit of a stagger on them, and your SCVs will still be able to mine nicely. Breaking through. Oh, he's actually killing the assimilators. So like I was talking about earlier, he broke through here with the eggs, and he killed this assimilator. He's going to kill that one too. Looks like he's going to kill this assimilator as well, and this just becomes a complete island base. All except for this entrance, and of course, that's behind the sunken wall, so Hero can reinforce this area. Doesn't have to worry about Marines and medics breaking through either of these 2, getting into that back base there, that 3rd base. So we've got a pretty decently sized Marine medic ball moving here towards the natural. Just threatening here. He doesn't really want to take a fight with 4 sunkens and Mutalists flying overhead, but he doesn't want the Mutalist to be here harassing his natural either. So putting on this amount of pressure, it will allow Rush to, not over defend in this location. Just force the mutas to come out here and engage with the Marines. Now, if Hero was to add on like another 2 sunken colonies here, that would kind of free up his mutas. He could go across the map and start to harass without fear of being broken. But because he's only got 4, it's still a little bit scary here with this number of Marines. We've almost got 2 groups of Marines. He's gonna get 1 medic. That's a really nice pick off. If he gets another medic, I think he can just leave here, because this Marine medic ball is getting a little bit too small. We've only got, how many Marines is this? 12 and 13 in total. So that's certainly not enough to hold on, or to break through 4 sunken colonies. You could go across the map here and go back to harassing once again. We've got the science vessels on the way. For the Zerg, we have consume defilers coming up here, and the Hydras being produced en masse. A couple of upgrades coming as well. I think this is going to be a Hydra defiler game, because we're just on 3 gas, and it's not going to be easy to take a 4th. I guess taking it here would probably be the best option at the moment. Could come over with the mutas and just kill these 2 assimilators, and then this becomes relatively free base. But yeah, we're gonna have a Hydra defiler game for sure. Nidus Network on the way here. Another hatchery coming up. That is a sure sign of Hydra defiler. When you start seeing these macro hatches thrown down and no Ultralisk Cavern, it's a very clear sign of what is to come here. And I think Rush would love to know about that. He's scanning around the map, trying to figure out exactly what's coming. He has 5 barracks, just pure SK Terran style for now, getting those double upgrades. Very important. Plague on the way, of course. Getting upgrades is important, but with Plague, those armor upgrades really mean nothing. Gonna break through here towards the left-hand side, actually getting it prepared here for the Zerg to try and take this base. I would have loved to see Hero come up and kill these assimilators a little bit sooner. Now he's flying around with the mutas, looking for a way into the main. Actually gonna come up here. Maybe he kills these two assimilators, and that should deny this base over towards the 12 o'clock. That is a very good move. Rush. Looking for damage of his own, but not able to find anywhere that's really open. This is such a well-defended position here from Hero. I guess he's gonna look to come through here. Oh, if he just kills the assimilators, this base becomes really, really hard to take for the Zerg player. Look at that, killing off the assimilator here. That is gonna go down. Are we gonna have an irradiate? It's like a couple of irradiates gonna go on to these mutas. Bit of a waste here, though, if I'm being honest. Losing those two mutas is not the biggest deal right now for Hero. But getting rid of two irradiates is pretty darn sweet, because you do have these lurker numbers and, of course, the dreaded defiler coming across the map. If you don't have an irradiate for this defiler, you could be in a lot of trouble here as Rush. And I don't know what the actual energy is on these. Looks like he does have a couple of radiates at least, and he should be able to get one down. Ooh, a beautiful plague there, doing so much damage to these science vessels. Gonna bring them down to very, very low HP, and the Hydras could easily pick them off if they fly in a little bit too close. Here we go. Two go down very, very quickly. We still have three more that have been plagued. Could dive on those, trying to get a shot off, but not able to do it. Just finished up the range now on the Hydras. So not having that range does make it quite a bit harder for the Hydras to get their damage. But now that it's done, sniping down these science vessels becomes a piece of cake. Now, when you're engaging with these two armies, more and more Hydras spilling out here. There is going to have to be a fourth base relatively soon for Hero. This base does run out of minerals very, very quickly, as you can see. Only 600 minerals on that, 300 minerals on there. That's actually less than what is at the main and natural right now. So those do run out very, very quickly. We've got some drones on the map here. Looks like he does want to send some down. Got to get some shots off here. There are two science vessels, but those are not the ones that were plagued earlier. Doesn't have the energy for plague. Does have to consume a Hydra, and gonna run forward looking for a good plague, but just not able to find it. Meanwhile, base up here in the top right, base in the top center. Rush has expanded out and increased his capacity very, very much here. He's got a ton of barracks. He's got double starport pumping. And in this case, you see, we're not actually going for battle cruisers here. That's important because, you know, Hydraless Defiler is very, very good against battlecruiser. What you really want is a lot of science vessels, and you want to start producing tanks as well. And there's our first factory, just one factory out here producing tanks. Maybe not going to be enough. You probably want a second factory now and double expand down in the bottom right. Looks like Hero's made himself some space with those plagues on the vessels and some of these Marines as well. He's made himself enough space to grab these two extra bases. We'll see if Rush can get down here and actually prevent that. Running away now from that Defiler. Definitely want to get the Irradiate down and back off. Comes another one. He should just throw down a plague somewhere. There we go. A good plague on some Marines. Nicely done. Marines are very, very low in number now, although the supply is kind of high. Where are all these Marines? Oh, it's in a drop coming here towards the main. This could be a game-changing drop here for Rush. Gonna go after this spawning pool. He could kill off a Evo chamber as well. This is the Evo chamber that's researching armor. He does not get it. That would have been an amazing pickoff had he been able to snipe that building. But what does he do while this is being cleaned up? Where does he go from here? Looks like a drop down into the bottom right is going to be the play, with an army moving in that direction as well. He could get a lot of damage done here. There's only 5 mutas. This should be a Nidus network, Nidus canal on the way as well. Here we go. Some Defilers coming out here. Gonna have to back away as quickly as possible. Running down towards the bottom right as the Defiler dies to the Irradiate. That is gonna fall before it can get any spells off. And this Defiler has no energy. There we go. Getting another good Irradiate down here. But surrounded by the Hydra. Is gonna pick off some of these Science Vessels as well. But look at that. No Dark Swarm there. He should have thrown a Dark Swarm down before that died. That would have been much better. Oh, one more. He does get one more of these Science Vessels. Losing those Science Vessels, very, very painful. He could have gotten that one as well, but not quite paying attention at that moment. Where is that drop? How come it hasn't unloaded? Or maybe it did unload it, but it got cleaned up here in the bottom right. Nidus manages to survive, but we've got a tank push coming down here. That's going to be difficult to stop. Just pure Hydra popping out, and some Defilers going to throw down another Dark Swarm and just focus on killing these tanks here. Right-clicking on the tanks, picking them off as quickly as possible. A really good move from Hero to just keep his bases in the bottom right alive. And this game will go on, my friends. We've got more factories coming up here. Surprised he hasn't added on another one. He's actually adding on more barracks. And of course, he's gonna start pumping out those fire bats. His production is pretty ridiculous. He doesn't have many drones over, or SCVs over at this location. I wonder if they're stuck somewhere. I don't really see it. Another Defiler coming up here. Can he get a big plague on some of this army? He's looking for it. There we go. The Defiler energy upgrade is done, so he can cast 2 spells. That's very, very strong. More lurkers now coming out here, and that, to me, makes me feel like Hero might be a little bit back to the wall right now. Building lurkers right here is it's a little bit rough. You don't really want to be using that much gas for defense. You're not going to be attacking with the lurkers. You really want to focus on Hydraless Defiler as much as possible and sniping as many Science Vessels as possible. Getting the big plagues. Running up like this with lurkers is not the greatest. Does work out pretty well there, though. Bunch of lurkers down here, just kind of holding that ground. A lot of Hydras popping out of the natural. Where is he going to go with this? He's still got a few mutas on this side. I wish he would just kill these. He can't actually like funnel through and get into the back of the natural, I don't think. Maybe he could. Actually, there's no eggs here. But I would much rather see him take this base right now. A bunch of tanks in the center. We've got 4 tanks here. Gonna be shooting down at these lurkers. Irradiate on the retreat. And this base is pretty much mined out here for Hero, yeah. There's really not that much minerals at each of these locations. We got here 1,000 minerals. That's it. So regular bases have 1,500. That's 50% less for each of these bases. Coming up here, gonna try and snipe a tank. Good pullbacks from Rush to keep at least one of those alive. And he's really controlling the center of the map here. It's kind of on Hero now to try and take another base, to try and attack across the map, because this is just gonna get bigger, guys. There's gonna be more and more tanks being built all the time. Tons and tons of infantry coming out here to the front line. We're already maxed out for Rush, so I'm not sure what he wants to do with this maxed out army. Slowly pushing forward, I guess, with tanks is going to be the play, though, for now. You cannot break through lurkers under Dark Storm, though, with just pure tank alone. You need to start irradiating these lurkers, getting rid of them. Coming forward with some fire bats there, definitely not the play. Lurkers just tear them apart very, very quickly. I would love to see drops here from Hero. Just send some drops up to the top right-hand corner. You know, make a big mess up here. Just drop up some Defilers and Lurkers and just get in that area. But he's running forward on top of tanks with Lurkers. That is not the play, I think. This is a very long, extended tank line with plenty of vessels to irradiate everything here under the Dark Swarm. He's going to try and take this center right base, but he hasn't killed these assimilators yet. You really want to get rid of that. Close that area off so that, you know, tanks and Marines can't just walk through and park up here on this high ground, take out that base. That would be a real pain. It's like a wide arc of units coming through the middle of the map. Look at how many lurkers there are here. Rush. Not enough bio to actually hold on to this position. Lurkers are going to jump on top of all of this, killing all the tanks and cleaning things up, but falling back nicely here. Rush actually getting out of the danger zone, losing a lot of science vessels though. That was a great Hydros, just picking off a whole bunch of those units, and on the retreat, tons and tons of lurkers go down. So I'm not really sure who got the better of that trade, to be honest. Plenty of tanks went down, plenty of Marines died, but a lot of lurkers ended up getting finished off there. He's gonna kill off these assimilators here. He killed this base. A nice drop during all of that to just kind of deny those extra bases from Hero goes a long way. Got a Ling over here at the 12 o'clock. Gonna deal some damage. What are the upgrades at right now? It is 3 armor, 0 melee attack, but we've got 2 needle spines. That's 2 range attack for the Zerg. How about Marines? It's got to be 3-3 by now. Yeah, 3-3. How are the tanks doing? We've got 0-1 on those tanks. Ooh, losing a couple more of these vessels, and we're very low on vessels right now. Just 2 out here on the field, and 3 popping out at once though, so a lot of production on the science vessel count. Where are our defilers? I don't see any defilers in this area. It really needs to get some more plagues, get some more value. Here we go. Defilers down here in the bottom right. He is going to try and push forward once again, but being blocked from taking additional bases is problematic. Another base is necessary. You can't just stick here on even bases with the Terran and expect to win out in a very long game. Of course, Plague Hydra is very efficient, but Tank is also extremely efficient. You can do so much damage before your opponent even gets within range. That is the most useless tank on the map right now. Why would you ever siege up underneath that ability there? The disruption web that's just permanently in the middle of the map renders this completely useless. That's pretty funny. Great plagues there on this Bioforce though, and I'm kind of surprised to see Rush continuing to build bio here. I feel like switching over fully into mech would probably be better, but I don't know. Just 2 tanks, 2 tank factory, constantly pumping, and a huge amount of Marines coming out with 3 starport science vessel being pumped. A huge army here. He's still making so many lurkers, surprisingly. Gonna come up on the right hand side. Ling's just being sent in to their death. Bunch of lurkers gonna actually try to run by on the right side. Maybe he wants to get up towards that top right area. Just going to drop these lurkers and throw down some dark swarms here to prevent Rush from kind of assisting in the top right. If he gets a big round of Lings and Hydras up into this area, he could cut this off and kill this base. That is a possibility. Although now Rush gonna move to kind of cut off reinforcements. This channel that's leading to the north is not going to be able to stick around for long. Uh-oh, bunch of lurkers here are gonna kill this tank, and a whole ton of SCVs kind of trading out here and killing this location, while this one's now been set down and is mining on the center right here. Rush cutting off the reinforcements for now, but a dark swarm does come down. Bunch of irradiates gonna come through. This is now another 12 science vessels. I think this is so many science vessels here. Tanks gonna come up towards this top right location, clearing that out. Tanks even unsieged, very good against lurkers. They can outrange them even while unsieged, so that's very strong. It's going to try and break through these eggs, but of course tanks clearing that out, and Rush can get back to mining in this location. His money is so high here, and Hero's having a very difficult time breaking through any of these areas. Where is he going to go next here? I'm really shocked, actually, that he's still building lurkers. Maybe this is new tech that I haven't really found out about yet, but it feels like it's not as good as just pure Hydra, in my opinion. Hydra and Ling, I guess. That is picking off a ton of the bio. Maybe the fact that Rush hasn't completely switched into mech is the reason why we still have lurkers in play. Needs to get a good plague on all of these science vessels. Focus down the science vessels. Oh my gosh. Allows his Defiler to get irradiated there. And I don't even know if this has energy. No, it doesn't even have energy for a spell, unfortunately. So Hero just barely not able to break this top right. He needs another round of units, but more stuff is coming out to reinforce for Rush. Tanks are being produced still. A lot more tanks are up here. And I'm not sure that Hero can actually get through that. He needs to go pretty quickly here if he does want to get break through this area. Where's the Defiler? There's 2 Defilers coming up here. They need to consume and make their way towards that top right as soon as possible. The corridor is once again opened here from south to north, where he could possibly break through this area. Oh no, he's getting irradiated before he starts this attack. That is a big problem here for Hero. He's not going to be able to get those Dark Storms right up in the face of Rush right now, and he's going to have to wait for another round of Defilers to come out before he can push forward any further. Meanwhile, Rush is actually moving around to the side here and could cut off reinforcements for a moment. Actually, this corridor is still looking to be open, and the Defilers are going to be able to walk up this right-hand side. A lot of lurkers here, but without Defiler support, they're not taking the best of trades. Hydra's still pushing them back with their 3-3 now. It should be 3-3, yes. Do we have, okay, one upgrade for the melee attack. I don't know how much that actually helps. We are building a lot of Lings here, going after some of these science vessels. A nice D-Matrix there to keep that one alive. Really, really good stuff there by Hero, but the Dark Swarm right in the front here is going to mean these tanks go down. Another D-Matrix, that's not going to do a whole lot. Taking some more irradiates here. He really needs to get a plague on this big group of science vessels ASAP. Otherwise, he's going to continuously eat those big irradiates over and over and over again. Here we go. Has an opportunity now to get a good plague going. Oh, the irradiates, though, are really, really good. And the Defiler's just not able to run forward fast enough to get the plague down. Oh, man. Bit disappointing there for Hero. Looks like a random army just kind of A-clicked down towards the bottom left. That's not going to do too well. With the Dark Swarm there, the Lings can actually clean most of this up. And this right-hand side is still open. He could still go through here. Nice plague on these tanks, at least. But the Nidus Canal is actually in range right now of the first tank, so he may end up losing that. Just got to run forward here and finish off these D-Matrix tanks. You still deal a tiny bit of damage, even through the D-Matrix, so if they're plagued, they just die instantly. That's a little known fact about the interaction between Plague and D-Matrix. You still do take damage even if you do have D-Matrix on. So if you just have 1 HP left, they just die instantly anyway. So D-Matrix really not that good on plagued units. Rush is moving through the middle. He still has an insane amount of minerals left over. He's got a crazy line of tanks here in the top right, and this space has gone basically unmolested throughout this game. This is what I was talking about earlier, is that I feel like Hero really should have gone drops this game. Drops can be so good against a meching Terran player. Get a big plague here. That would be amazing. No plague. The Defiler dies to the tank fire. And I feel like Hero is starting to run out of gas. We don't have much minerals over here at the bottom right anymore. This army is closing in on this area as well. We're going to be able to throw down a big plague in this spot, but without a Dark Swarm and no lurkers in this area, it looks like he's going to break through. Down here at the bottom left, we have science vessels coming. More army coming down as well. And GG is called. Hero taps out. And Rush is victorious. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that game. Once again, shout out to Dex for sending me that replay. Can see the overview, units, structures, and resources. Guys, that's it for me for today. I'll see you in the next replay cast. Peace out.